I wonder if there's any dead hookers in here. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. The bad weather held us up for a little bit, holding on parts and some other things, but we're back to work today, got a new video for you. Steve's at a really boring part on the Bentley and I don't want to bore you guys. So Antonio and I have another project we're working on. We're gonna see if we can save it or if it's gonna become furniture. All right, so what we've got here is a 1960 Sunbeam Alpine that we were gifted by a viewer, which is crazy because we only have like 198 subscribers at this point. It is rusty. It has been off the road since 1983. The car is full of parts. I have another tote of parts. I don't know what's all here. So I think what I'd like to do is you and I get this up in the air. Or well, before we get it up in the air, let's get all the parts out, take top off it, get all the parts out of the car, see what we've got, and then put it up in the air and see how bad the rust is. If the rust isn't too terrible, then maybe we can talk about ideas, maybe doing a Miata powertrain, or Steve suggested a Mazda RX-8. Doing like not just the engine, but everything, all the suspension, the rear diff, everything. But if it is too rusty, we're gonna end up cutting this into pieces, and the back end will become a couch, and the front end will become a desk. While we do that, Steve's gonna work on finalizing the suspension on the Bentley and doing the alignment on it. Well, you guys weren't privy because our last video was ruined by a bolt. A seized bolt ruined our entire day. I had to buy a new spindle for the passenger side, but we got it here. Parts were delayed and still are delayed because of the ice storms that the whole entire country just had, so we missed a video last week. But Steve and I went ahead and did some work on the Bentley this week so that we could just proceed today. So let's get to it, guys.
The back seat and
Yes. Tuesday, September 1st, 1992. Whipping wildfires. There's that a lot of rust?
yeah.
Unless Antonio's gonna just use his manly strength to yank that out of there. We're old guys. We're not as young as we used to be. We need the cherry picker.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm a little disappointed at how bad the rust is because when we started getting the parts out, I had a second idea of we could just put everything back together and make it kind of like a little patina roadster, but that's not the case. That's bad.
That's really bad.
That's really bad. Yeah. This car, it's unfortunate, but somebody's dream has sat too long. When people put their cars outside and they say, I'm not gonna sell it, I know what I got, I'm gonna put it together someday. Well, this is what someday is. There was a tree growing through the middle of it. I didn't pick the car up, he brought it to us. This is too far gone. So we are going to come up with a plan to back half it, front half it, and have some fun with the plasma cutter. I think that we can salvage a lot of these parts for other cars though. There's some really good stuff there in here. Doors, not the windshield, but the windshield frame. A lot of trim, bumpers. Or no, I need the bumpers. What's our plan of attack gonna be for this? No, we're gonna cut it up.
All right.
I wasn't kidding.
Okay, we doing that today? I'm in.
Yeah, we're here, why not?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go in the front and I'll show you how I did the couch and then I'll tell you what I have in mind.
All right.
So you see how there's no wheels in there?
Yeah.
We don't need the rear diff and all that.
Yeah.
One thing I learned after doing this one that I don't want to repeat the mistake of on that one, and it works out because that's a little bit bigger, is you see how the curve here, I went back further. I want to try and go as straight as we can so that I don't have that so it'll go flush against a wall.
Oh yeah, okay.
And the front end, I have no idea. I want to do a desk with the front, but I haven't done a desk before. So
I'm wondering if we keep the glass.
We don't want to have the whole front end of the car. We just want to have the front.
Okay.
You know, halfway to the wheel arches, I think.
Okay.
We just lower it down and put it here. But then I think we should ratchet strap it to the lift, because when we start cutting things off, we don't want the front to be too heavy and flip forward. I think we'll do the exterior cuts first, and then we'll just trim out the inside as we need. To make it easier for you to use the plasma cutters, I'm gonna take my sander, and I'm just gonna strip away the paint to give us bare metal. So I talked to Michael at ECPS Group, you know, our favorite carbon fiber people in Poland. He has come out with a giant rear wing. Both the new models and these models. Almost peed myself when I saw it. I'm not a fan of big wings, but I think this one's asking for it.
Okay.
And tint the headlights yellow. What do you think? And what do you guys think? Should I put a big wing and do the headlights yellow? So Steve says all decisions should be race car focused at all times. I tend to agree, and I think, well, give us your opinion, but I think I'm gonna do it. I could use a Sawzall, but this metal's pretty thick, so it's just gonna cut a nice straight line all the way down. Antonio's never done this, so I'm just gonna set it up for him and give him an opportunity to do this. Can't really screw it up. It won't cut a perfect line, but once we get it cut and we get everything the way we want it, we can go back over it with a grinder. So that's how we're gonna start.
That was pretty fun.
I don't know how it works, but it's cool. And we probably cut out the trunk floor here. We can always cut more when it's off rather than taking too much to begin with. We need everything inside this space removed, but the outer piece, the inner, what's underneath is okay to leave there, because that'll give me something for attaching points for when we build the seat. I'm not concerned with having any flat metal or anything. I mean, it can be rigid, it can be all sorts of things.
All right, so we're trying to work through the air suspension issues, and what I'm doing is I'm taking it out of showroom mode or transport mode, filling the system, and then adapting the suspension per the computer. And once it gets to the left rear wheel, it basically just loses communication with the actual vehicle. It's something about channel 4 left rear wheel, so what I'm gonna do is find the module and just make sure it doesn't have any water on it, that the harness looks good, disconnect the battery, and then plug it all back again and just see if I can get kind of a hard reset on that module.
I'm glad we have this guy, because I would never be able to figure that out. Parting the car out, right?
Yeah.
And I went to the Alpine group on Facebook and said, hey, I'm parting this out. And this dude just hits me up and says, hey, the trim around the rear window, I'd like to buy that from you to have an extra set. And I said, well, I'm open to offers. And he says, well, I'll give you $100 for it. So I go look on eBay, and what I found on eBay here, I'll show the camera in just one second, as soon as I get back to my eBay app, $1,900 is what the stainless trim goes for. So I messaged him back. No, I don't think so. $1,000. Yeah. $1,000 for the rear chrome window trim off the top of the free car. So any money we make off this car is going back into the Bentley. So anybody needs Sunbeam parts, let us know. So by removing that section, we now have a clean area that they can build the base and the back for our seat along with the sides. So once we get this off the car and we have it on the floor, I'll trim it out some more. What they'll do is I'll put the seat in the bottom with the cushion on the back, and it'll make both bolsters on the sides that'll come up right to here. So if you can envision that, that's what we're doing. And we'll probably cut out this ugly rusty section down here too. We'll cut that out. But for now, we're gonna raise it up. It looks like we have to drop the rear differential out of it to section the rear off.
connected.
Yep. There we go. I don't think anybody's gonna buy this tiny little rear end, so we should open the door, raise the lift up, and just roll this right over next to the scrap. I mean, honestly, this is not a part somebody's looking for.
Yeah.
You like to play drunk. The rust collapsed on the front frame. As we were lowering the car down just now, where we have the arms on the front, the rust just collapsed inside the car and the floorboard, so the whole thing shifted and dropped. So it's a really good thing, just if you're gonna be doing something like this like we did secure the car to the rack over there by the frame with the strap, so that otherwise this car would have just fallen off the lift. But clearly, it lets me know if the frame is caving in like that, that we made the right choice by cutting this up. Well, looky there. You know, Sawzall is much cleaner than the plasma cutter, but the plasma cutter definitely came in handy in some tight spots.
Okay.
So every time I do one of these, I learn a little bit more. There are people out there doing this, but I don't know much about it, so it's just fun. Let's go ahead and just stand it on end. Oh, Jesus, this is heavier than the end. And I guess we're on to the front. What time is it? 1 o'clock, not bad time. I buy the Swatch watch. Swatch watch. I'm a 80s kid, so Swatch watches are ideal. I was happy to find the Swatch store in Vegas, and I bought 2 of them while I was there this time. And I also took my Swatch collection. I've got like 30 of them. And the girl behind the counter, she was like 21, maybe 21. She flipped out because all the vintage watches I had. Well, there's a lot of them I can't wear because my wrist is too small. I was like, which one's your favorite? And she was like, 'cause she knew every model and everything, told me all the models, the year they came out and everything. She's like, oh, this is my favorite, and blah, 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 and told me why. I was like, okay, keep it.
Heck yeah.
She was very appreciative. I forget her name. Swatch girl, you're awesome. So obviously my couch idea is pretty cut and dry, but if you're wondering how I'm gonna make a desk out of the front, what we'll do is once we cut it and section it, I will get some square tubing and I will make stanchions for this to stand on, and then I'll get some nice pieces of probably round polished, or I might even go to IKEA and buy a desk if I can find one that has the right attachments. I'll make little posts that come off of here on each side and put a glass top in the middle, and we'll put a glass top across it. So I might even do those out of plexiglass so they're clear and then put a glass top on it. So I think that'll look really neat and be a neat addition to somebody's office or home office. Exactly 25 inches on both sides.
Okay.
I want to take the cutoff wheel and line the hood and the fender, just cut straight down,
Okay.
and then we'll take the hood off the car. That way we know exactly where to cut the hood. This is going to be a little more tricky because we don't need all the inner frame and everything. We just need the structure. So what do you think? I would like to leave the upper core support here,
Okay.
so that the hood can rest on it. And I would like to leave the front sheet metal here, but we can just cut around and down here. Yeah, that'll be perfect. Just go from our cut, we come around and down. I think this will go pretty quick, actually. Boy, that's some work.
Yeah, we made quite a bit of progress. You got the rear end cut off and ready for prep.
We're gonna have the front end off here in a few minutes, but unfortunately, our cameraman's got other things to do, so we'll just have some photographs for you after the outro, but it's coming off. Thanks for the free car, we appreciate it. If you guys are watching, we love cars. You got something cool like this, we're happy to take it off your hands. And what color do you guys think we should paint this desk and this couch? Let me know. Red is not an option, so please don't say red. Thanks.
Please share, like, and subscribe, and don't forget to donate.
Parts, we need parts.
And cars.
And cars.
And cars.